Terror in Suburbia, the stuff of nightmares. A man comes home to find his two young children slain, and his dead wife in the hands of a maniac. Please welcome Herbert Goodacre.
Hi.
Let's go back to that night. You get off work. You picked up takeout from your local Chinese restaurant. You open the door, and you find your two young daughters slain in a pool of blood on the living room floor. What goes through a man's mind when he is confronted with that horror?
Well, I didn't really know what to think. At first, I guess thought I was having some bizarre kind of nightmare.
A nightmare.
But then, of course, I realized it was really real. And my two girls were...
Then the reports say you heard a sound.
Yeah. Coming from the bedroom. So I ran into the bedroom.
Tell us what you saw.
He was still there.
So the he was in fact one Bubba Ramsey, a convicted killer who recently escaped prison while on death row. So you see him with the body of your wife.
Yeah. He was on top of her.
Now, her head had already been cut off at this point, correct?
Yeah.
So you've come home. You've seen your two dead children in the living room. You discover the killer is still there. And now, you find him with your wife's headless corpse. At this point, what are you thinking?
I had to get him off her. I had to stop him.
All right, so what do you do next?
I tackled him. I just kept hitting him.
Now stop right there. We'll come back to that. What do you think he was trying to do with your wife's body? Now, at this point, he wasn't wearing pants, correct? The police found those on the living room floor, yes? Now we're going to show you some images of a sensitive nature, so the viewers at home won't be able to see this. All right, let's see them. Jim, what are we looking at?
Those would be the autopsy photos.
Oh, right, the autopsy. Mr. Goodacre, are you okay? It's difficult. I understand. So the coroner later determined that he had in fact had sex with both of your daughters. They had found copious amounts of semen in each of them. Let's go back to your fight with the killer. Apparently, Mr. Ramsey had an aneurysm during the fight and died on the floor, which was good for you because I don't think you would have otherwise been able to beat him. How did that make you feel?
Honestly, I know the Bible tells us to forgive and forget, but I felt really good.
You didn't feel, how should I put this, guilty? You didn't feel any feelings of guilt?
Huh?
Well, all things considered, if your daughters had lived, this man would quite possibly have been the father of their children.
What?
Oh. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We'll be back next week for another interview. Be kind and be well.